Mr. Jenkins, sir, you're charged with resisting arrest. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On March 2nd, 2025, officers were dispatched to a traffic hazard. Upon arrival, the officers were monitoring the traffic and crowd control of patrons leaving the bars that were closed around 2 a.m. At approximately 2:20 a.m., the officers observed an altercation occurring in front of D Bar. Officers ran toward the crowd, telling them to stop. An officer approached, crowd dispersed, and the officer observed the defendant punch a male who fell to the ground and was semi-conscious. The defendant and the complainant do not know each other. The officer yelled at the defendant to stop and observed the defendant use his right foot to stomp on the complainant's head while he was laying on the ground semi-conscious. The officer grabbed the defendant and the defendant tried to stomp on the complainant's head again, who was now unconscious. The officers were successful in taking the defendant to the ground, and the officer told the defendant to place his hands behind his back, but the defendant refused and resisted by holding his hands under him in front of his chest. The officer was able to get his right arm out and behind him, but the defendant continued to resist and hold his left arm under his chest while the officers continued to give orders to put his hands behind his back. The defendant resisted and said he did nothing wrong, and the officers were eventually able to handcuff and detain the defendant.
I don't know why hasn't been charged yet. I need to speak with the complainant and the officer to figure out what's going on with that.